Buckshot Roulette is a game that's gotten a lot of attention recently. It's got a very simple premise. What if you remade Russian roulette with a shotgun? No, this is 2023. YouTube, nobody wants a long intro. We just need action. Wait, what? It's 2024 already? Okay, I'll read the script. Put the metal pipe away. Anyway, with more rules, inevitably comes the meta, and me to yap about it. It's probably not what you think. Let's start with the rules of the game, and you can just skip to the time on the screen if you already know how to play, or this time on the screen if you just need to know the items. There are 3 rounds, one without items, one with 2 items per shotgun load, and one with 4 items per shotgun load, and we'll get to the items later. So, the basic rules. Let's start with that. The round ends when someone loses all their lives. Until then, you and this very friendly looking fella take turns practicing immaculate gun safety by shooting yourself or the other player. YouTube, please don't ban me for this. The shotgun is loaded with a series of live and blank rounds at the start of the round, and every time all of the shells are used. You can see how many shells are in the shotgun each time it's loaded, and how many blanks or lives there will be in the chamber, but they're all in an unknown order. Yes, unknown to the dealer too, the game is actually fair. Only live rounds deal damage, and if you shoot yourself with a blank, you skip the dealer's turn. And if you shoot yourself and it kills you, too bad, it's still the dealer's turn. Isn't that what you... Alright, I had to cut this joke out to not get age restricted. In the later round, you get items at the start of a round, and each time the shotgun needs to be reloaded. There are 5 items in total, and I'll put them into groups based on what they do. So first we have the information items, which include the magnifying glass, which tells you what round is in the chamber. Take 3 guesses on why that's useful, I bet you can't get it. And the beer, which lets you eject the round in the chamber without firing it. And the game has a very vague description for this, I had to Google it. Then there's the handcuffs in the class by itself. It skips the other player's turn, and I also wanted to make a joke here, but YouTube would definitely ban me for that. And after that, there are the simple items, which are the handsaw, which makes live rounds deal 2 damage per turn, and cigarettes, which restore 1 HP, just like real life. Remember kids, smoking is... My lawyer has advised me to not finish this joke. Okay, so now let's actually start solving the problem at hand. What's the optimal strategy to not get your brains blown out? So we'll start without items, and then add them into the mix later, or else my brain will actually get blown out from the amount of work I'll have to do. There are 3 cases we can split this problem into. More blanks than lives, more lives than blanks, or an equal amount of both. So how do you determine the best choice?
You value has a value of -1, the dealer value has a value of +1. Multiply those 2 by the probability that it happens, add them up, and just do the thing that gives you a higher value.
Really simple, right? I had to spend the last day of my winter break drawing probability trees. Put simply, it's pretty complicated, so I'll go through the first case and explain thoroughly that time, and after that I'll simplify the explanation so you don't click off faster than certain people react to videos people spend months making. Rest assured, I still used the same reasoning and had to draw so many outcome trees. I see them in my sleep nearly as much as him. So first case, more blank rounds than live rounds. That's an easy choice, right? You should choose yourself. No, that's completely wrong. So take the case the game gives us at first. 2 blank rounds, 1 live. And if you shoot yourself and it's live, that's obviously bad. If you shoot yourself in a blank round, you won. Or did you? You have a 50-50 chance of guessing right with 1 blank round and 1 live round. It turns out in this scenario, neither you nor the dealer has an advantage because neither of you knows what's in the chamber yet. I said we'll get to the items later. By shooting yourself, you're essentially just betting that the second round will be the live round, so you can shoot it at the dealer. But you have no reason to believe that because any of them have an equal chance to be the live round. And what's more, you're risking shooting yourself and losing a life in the process. But if you shoot the dealer at first, you get a 1 in 3 chance of taking a life from him, and if you miss, he doesn't have any advantage, because it's just a 50-50, based on the reasoning that I've already said. A pretty similar line of reasoning holds up with all the other possible scenarios in this case, and a cool pattern emerges that only nerds like me are interested in. So, for the next case, we have an equal amount of both blanks and lives. Again, choose to shoot the dealer. Choosing yourself to skip the dealer's turn doesn't really make sense when it's not that valuable compared to the risk of unaliving. And the value of giving yourself the gun for a second turn is always lower than the negative value of you dying and the dealer getting the gun. And for when there are more lives than blanks, obviously you should choose the dealer, because the same logic I've already discussed applies. If choosing yourself was never worth it for the other cases, it wouldn't change for the one case where the reasoning that probably popped to your head and my head first is right. You should always choose the dealer no matter what. So, for this very complicated strategy, I made a handy flowchart for this very advanced top 200 Among Us. I'm not finishing that sentence, it's not 2020. Let's read this. It goes, are you playing the game? Good. Shoot the f***ing dealer! So, just always shoot the dealer then? Not quite, we still have to add in items, and I have to get more watch time and engagement if you haven't clicked off already. Thank you. The simple items are easy. You should smoke the pack of cigarettes whenever you can for a free health, and the sol just increases your incentive to shoot the dealer. Use it whenever you have good odds of shooting a life at the dealer. And it actually doesn't matter that much when you use the handcuffs either. You can just shoot at the dealer on your free turn too. Just use it when you would use a sol. And the beer isn't that important. It just changes the state of the shotgun when you're going to be shooting the dealer anyway, and I've been looking at calculations for way too long now. The magnifying glass lets you get a free next turn or a free shot on the dealer. Also use it when you would use a sol. Are you noticing a trend? Combos of items don't change this much. For example, using a magnifying glass and a sol separately has about the same expected value as using them as a combo together, on average. And the items also don't change whether you should shoot yourself or not. Eventually it'll be the dealer's turn anyway, and you risk giving it to them and also losing a life. So, does it really not matter in the first place? Like the ending of... Okay, I'm not gonna spoil... Well, there's two cases. If the dealer can completely kill you with his current items in his turn, waste as many rounds as possible in the gun. TLDR, if you aren't happy single, you won't be happy in a relationship. Happiness comes from alcoholism, chug beers. And if you can get the complete kill on the dealer, obviously do that. Apart from that, just using your items based on your intuition, or even just whenever, is good enough, as long as you aren't actively trying to unalive, and as long as you have space for the items you'll get on a reload. And if you couldn't tell, my last two brain cells rioted trying to do this by calculation, and this really was good enough from what I calculated, which is clearly a standard we should all be striving for in things like $21 billion irrecoverable one-time space stuff. NASA, please hire me. Anyway, yeah, the items are not the hard part of the game. Wait, what? So we should just always shoot the dealer? Yes. And unintuitive as that may seem, if you, specifically you, really want to sit through drawing that many probability trees to try and disprove me, go ahead. You might, but I'm pretty sure you won't, because I spent way too long drawing those. But that's just a theory. Literal game theory. It's a field of mathematics. Wait, what do you mean MathPat's retiring? What? So yeah, that's it. I don't feel like doing a complicated conclusion because this isn't a video essay. But just like this video if you enjoyed it, dislike it if you didn't, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And it's just how I know what content I should make. And always shoot the dealer. Bye.